Oh, 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 introducing first group gnome.
So here it is. Merry Christmas.
Everybody's having
fun. Look
to the future now. It's only just begun.
Hey.
It's Christmas.
Our first Late Gnomes. We have some special guests. But anyways, here we are. Merry Christmas. Do you want to introduce our guests?
Yes, so last
it's our
year
Christmas party, that's it. It's our Christmas party.
Oh, God, he's called up
party.
everybody. He's wearing a Christmas jumper. He's come to the Christmas party, but he's clearly the old man in the corner who doesn't know what day it is. And this is the man who's in charge of producing this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So last year we had two lovely guests on, a fiance, and a wife, and we thought, how do we top them?
How do we top them?
Don't we push them off a cliff? Or, put some poison in the
When you say top them, does that mean like assassinate when you top them?
How do we top them? No? How do we go one better than our beautiful partners in crime? How do we do it? And I was like, I wrapped my brain. After much deliberation, Williams, what did we decide? What did we decide, Williams? That was the question, mate.
To bring them back.
Ladies, fiance, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell the audience a bit about yourself.
Oh, I don't know how after that stunning introduction. Yes, I am still the fiance. But, we have been rather busy. For those of you that remember, I was heavily, grumpily pregnant this time last year when we recorded our last Christmas special. We have a little baby now. We now have a 10-month-old. And I can't think of any first looks that have got anything to do with anything other than he did a poo this morning, or he woke up 4 times last night, or his current favourite's Hey Dougie, or anything kid related, because that's my life. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. But that's why we're not married yet. Bit busy bringing up a baby.
A baby.
Well, speaking of mothers, we have another guest with us today. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself? Your mum and who are you?
Could it be?
Which one of your wives could it be?
Could it be all of me? Who could it be?
Sally Talbot.
It's Sally Talbot. No. Inside joke.
My name's
I'm Jocelyn Wan.
Yeah.
I'm Craig's wife. Actual wife as opposed to...
the one I dreamt about, Heather.
Yeah.
I think we need to hear more about this.
I can tell you in a minute. It was horrible. Horrible dream.
I mean, very funny. Very funny.
I went to school with a girl called Sally. No, sorry, I'm interrupting your introduction. I apologise. Go ahead.
There's not very much
Sally's
more
taken
to
over
say.
the intro already.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm Leslie Ann. I'm Craig's wife. I'm also a mother to a slightly larger child. I concur. It is exhausting. It is all of those things that you said, Georgie. But I tend to fall on the other side of the fence of, yeah, it's not great.
Okay. We've had this conversation.
Yeah, and I agree. It's not hard being a mum. It's hard having to be a mum and have to do all of the other stuff as well.
Yes.
But yeah. But I also don't whinge about it on social media because, who's listening?
It's hopefully somebody will listen to this podcast. This can be
Who is listening?
It's you know what it is. We'll just go straight in with this. Do you know the old? Well, okay. I have to be careful what I say here.
Okay.
I'm not anti.
Get your editing button out.
Yeah.
I'm not anti everybody.
So that was our intro song, which was beautifully in tune. I've got I don't know if, well, you might know actually. I've got a Polish friend who's a sound technician, and a Czech one too.
Pardon.
Check one too.
I'm marrying him. I'm marrying her.
This is where Williams needs to put in the sound of a tumbleweed there.
I thought it was quite funny.
Anyways, this is our...
Don't encourage him.
Thank you, Lizzie Ann. Anyways, this is our Christmas episode. I've
Jingle bell, jingle bell,
realised-
jingle bell rock.
I've
Jingle bell ring and jingle bell swing.
That's from
He's the one with the jumper on, not the
Mean
rest of
Girls,
it.
one of my favourite Christmas movies. Mean Girls, very good.
Mean Girls is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. Mean Girls.
Explain
Yes,
that to me.
There's the Christmas
You've never
bit, the
seen
Jingle
Mean
Bell.
Girls?
What?
And you lecture me about not having seen all these ridiculous
thank you, Liz,
movies.
yeah.
Is it a
I've
good
not
one?
seen Mean Girls. I lived Mean Girls. I haven't seen it.
It's been in the spotlight again recently, hasn't it? For would they get away with it now?
Probably not. I mean, girls still behave like that, but
I was going to say, lots of girls around the country do.
yeah.
I
Girls are mean.
Girls love
Shock horror.
finally started Christmas shopping. Went on eBay to find some bargains. I was going to bid on a Rudolph and Blitzen toy set, but it was too dear.
That's a good one.
Anyways,
Look at his little happy face. Look at his little face of joy.
let's take out your rods, everyone. After the
He's
fish
back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back.
He's back in the building.
Back in the game.
Get your rods out. Get your rods out, and off to the fish pond and
Sorry, this is
feedback.
Rods are out.
Rods are out. We've got some new listeners. Actually, Mr. Hodgkiss, we've got a huge number of listeners, which I'm guessing must be robots, and I don't know why robots are listening to us. We've got loads of listeners from Council Bluffs in Iowa.
Oh.
Loads, like 50 different listeners from Iowa.
What?
And unless there's a family out there listening to us or something, I don't know. But there's
It's a big
lots of
family.
listeners
It could
in
be
a
the new
place
company
called
I'm
Council
working
Bluffs in Iowa.
So
Oh, here we
I
go.
kind of let slip to the new people that I'm
Uh-oh.
working for. They do a podcast, and they're
Oh,
American.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
How big's the company?
51 people.
could be that. It could be a couple of people over there, and
Where
just
are they based?
In Iowa, though?
Indiana. That's near Iowa, isn't it?
Is it?
No,
Near
I mean,
enough to be Iowa.
I don't know. I just
Said the computer tells us they're in
England and
Iowa.
Spain.
but Iowa. I don't know. My American geography is pretty poor.
Yeah.
Hang on. We've got technology.
So we've
Anyway,
got some bots listening to us.
loads of listeners there for some random reason. Also got a new listener. Welcome from Middlesbrough, from
Oh.
Darlington.
Oh, that could be. So that could be either John, could be Amy, and they live in Leicester, don't they? Our old friend Amy's from Darlington.
Yes,
My brother-in-law's from Darlington, up by Borough,
could be them.
up the tune.
Up the tune. New listener from Clonelly.
No, it's not what they say at all. Up the tune. That's what Williams does because he's from Newcastle. Oh my goodness, great!
I'm
This
not
is
from
baby
Newcastle.
brain. This is just tiring me.
Did you have a baby with Sally Talbot?
No, but I didn't. We're going to take a tangent
Can I
here.
just, just to loop back, Indiana and Iowa are only separated by Illinois. So actually,
Oh,
you
so
didn't do
couple-
too badly there.
Okay,
All right.
it's all the middle.
How many
So,
steps?
Yeah,
is
so
that?
hello to everyone.
It's pretty central. You couldn't get more Central America than Indiana and... Oh, you could, actually.
It's the middle.
But,
It's the middle. Yeah,
it's
great
it's
TV
sort
show.
of absolute boss TV show.
Well, here you go. Hello to
Yeah.
everyone over there.
so, yeah, you're not too bad on your geography. Well done.
New listener, Harrow.
Careful.
Okay.
It's from
Easy.
Harrow. 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 Harrow.
What? In Essex?
I don't know.
Harrow.
Harrow and Harrow. Harrow.
That sounds like you're being mildly racist.
I don't know. It's
It
Harrow.
does. It sounds like he's being very racist. So we've got a
Harrow.
Harrow in Ontario.
No, it just
You've
says
got a
Harrow
Harrow
and
on the
Harrow.
Hill in England. You've got Harrow College.
I think it's England Harrow.
England Harrow.
And
Very good.
a new listener,
Just
hello,
outside London.
Harrow, to a new listener in Red Deer in Alberta.
Oh,
quite cool,
nice.
Yeah. Someone wrote in saying they don't like the know-it-all gnome.
Is that Georgie by any chance? And Georgie's nodding, yes. Feedback was, she thinks it sounded creepy and also like it was someone trying to entice somebody to sit on their knee. Now, I mean...
Like a dodgy
personally-
Santa.
Personally, as a close friend of the know-it-all gnome, I just wanted to reflect that the know-it-all gnome has feelings and is very sensitive. It may seem like he knows everything, but when it comes to affairs of the heart and, criticism...
It wasn't his heart I was worried about, Craig.
See, like, it's
Should also be able to just be resilient enough to accept feedback. It's not really about him, it's about the content.
It is, but, it's still just a gnome at the end of the day. With feelings and
I
heart.
think give him a second chance. I think give him a second chance.
He will. Maybe he'll come and address these complaints later in the episode. We will wait and see, listeners. We'll wait and see.
Sorry, Craig.
Don't apologise to me, Georgie. It's not me. You're bloody upset. You silly. It was not me at all.
Come on.
It's the poor no.
Well, Belfast then, Craig.
That's not okay. It's not LG. It's not okay.
Where was that person?
It's not okay. I don't know. It was a mix again. I'm so tired. I don't know what's going on. I'm like Williams.
It's all these extramarital affairs you're hanging loose.
We're all very tired.
You're being Sally Tolbert. You'd be all right,
We're
wouldn't
all
you?
very tired. I did a little usual check for First at Gnomes on the Google, on the line, and
I still haven't done the website. Sorry,
the website still wasn't coming up.
I've been really busy.
But what
Sorry.
did come up on the searches was a site called Scandinavian.
Scandinavia?
Scandinavication. I can't say it. Scandification.com.
Spell it out to the class.
And on Scandinavication.com, there's an article about Scandinavian gnomes, which came up in the search.
Oh, Scandinavian-cation.
So a little, just a couple little bits from that. History of gnomes in Sweden's Norway and Denmark. So
I really want to go to Snorre.
You.
So there's Scandinavian Christmas gnomes. Scandinavian Christmas gnomes that play a part in determining whether you get a handful of presents each year or not. In Scandinavia, the gnome usually has the name of Tomte in Swedish or Nisser in Norway, and in Finland, the name for the gnome is Tonttu.
Wow.
I really love it when you try and speak foreign languages.
The Scandinavian gnomes.
You went a little bit know-it-all gnome then.
The Scandinavian gnomes sprang from the this bit's quite sad. The Scandinavian gnomes sprang from the imaginations of people who wanted to feel less alone during these cold months. Isn't that sad?
Very good.
If you keep,
Basically imaginary friends.
if you keep your home clean and leave a bowl of Christmas porridge out for your Swedish gnomes on Christmas Eve, they might reward you with gifts.
We won't get anything then.
There you go. So,
Well, here. I'm gonna say something here. So my original first look gnome, because we had just been to Scandinavia and purchased a Scandinavian gnome. It was going to be Scandinavian gnomes, and I'm bloody glad why now, because I'd have just repeated exactly what you said on Google, from Google, just with a different accent.
Scandinaviapedia.
Scandinavian.
Yeah, if you don't give the gnome their porridge, they might get upset and start playing pranks on you and your family.
Well, you better give it its bloody porridge, then, aren't you?
I think I prefer the Western tradition of brandy and a mince pie, but porridge it is.
So what tradition?
Western.
But you don't leave that out for gnomes, do you? You leave
And a
it for
carrot.
that.
Who wants to do their first?
Well, I think I think as we're talking about it, we should probably let Leslie Ann do hers.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Christian, you're
Because we
first.
are talking about the place Scandinavia and all the gnomes that are there.
Yeah, so my first look was going to be Stockholm.
Hey.
Yay! It was really good. We went to Stockholm for the weekend, and it was the first time either of us had been to anywhere, I think, in Scandinavia. You'd never been
Nope.
any like Norway, Denmark, any of those
Was this
places.
parents only, or was it?
It was a parents-only trip for the whole weekend. winning. It was a parents only weekend for a 40th birthday. So a friend of Craig's that he used to live with, the lovely Panda, turned 40, and he moved to Sweden a while ago, moved to Stockholm a few years ago. He's the only one of Craig's friends that I ever met that complimented my shoes.
I wonder where they're going then.
Anyway. So we went to Stockholm to see Panda for his birthday, and it was really lovely because it was our first weekend away together ever, I think, actually out of the country. So that was really good. And it's the first time we've been to Scandinavia. So it was really good. Sweden was really good. Stockholm was good. The people were lovely. And it was freezing cold. It was like -5 and it snowed and it was very cold. But it was like that, like biting cold that like bites your face. But it was really lovely, and it got us like ready for Christmas because it was so festive and lovely, and it was really nice. It was really good to kind of just see a new city and do something different. And we did a bus tour, and it was really lovely. And
was it open bus, open top?
It was an open top, but they had like a convertible type setup, so it was actually closed over. But it was still freezing.
Tell them about what happened when the bus and the ice collided.
When the bus and the ice collided,
we were trying to get up a hill. He stopped.
It was like a double-decker bus, and we had to stop at the traffic lights, and it was like on an incline, and because he stopped at the traffic lights, he lost all momentum.
Oh no!
And then the wheels were just spinning and spinning and spinning. They don't actually grit any of the road. Well, they weren't gritting the roads when we were there.
Oh my gosh.
The paths weren't gritted. There was snow everywhere. And it's that really dry, powdery snow. So as soon as you stand on it, just instantly turned into a sheet of ice. So it was just like, so the wheels are spinning and spinning. He had to reverse. And then the lights changed and nothing happened.
Oh, no.
And then they changed back to red. And then they changed back to green and nothing happened. And then they changed back to red.
Oh no, the wheels on the bus do not go round and round, guys.
So yeah, I know we all thought we were going to have to get off, but he sort of reversed a bit and then drove on the other side of the road a wee bit just to get around the patch of ice. So it was all fine in the end.
Was the food good, guys? I'm very invested in the food. What was it like?
The bits of food that we had were nice. We didn't have sort of any sort of like traditional Swedish type things as such.
The boys had that beef bourguignon, didn't they?
No. Yeah, it wasn't bourguignon. It was goulash.
That's the one. Same thing.
Not really. But yeah, we did when we went into that cafe on Saturday. We had some nice food.
Oh, we tried some Swedish desserts, didn't we?
Yeah. We had some. They were like kind of like a truffle type ball thing. It was really sweet, like chocolate. It was rolled in like desiccated coconut. And there's also like a Swedish cream puff thing, which is like it's kind of like a really big profiterole. So it's like choux pastry. It's got cream on the inside, and then like a little choux pastry lid. So
now we're talking.
Quite nice too.
That sounds amazing.
So yeah, I mean, we had like on the Friday night we had pizza, and on the Saturday night we had sushi. So
nice.
The sushi was incredible.
It was really nice. It was lovely.
So, is it as expensive as they say?
Meh.
It was fairly expensive.
I don't know. It wasn't because it's a different currency. Yeah. So when you say it's 600, whatever it is for a beer, you have no idea what that really is. I kept trying to do the maths in my head. And it was really difficult as well. It wasn't like, like, oh, 2 of these is one of those, or, it was like, every 100 kroner is like, £6.85 or so, it was like something really difficult.
Sometimes it's easier to just not do the conversion and just have a nice time.
Yeah, we stopped very quickly. We were like, just get, if you want to just get it.
Yeah. We took an empty credit card and they just did all the conversion for you. And then we're like, after the weekend, you're like, so you can see how much you spent. Yeah. Like, it wasn't the cheapest, but we also weren't we were... Because we don't do that very often. We're like, let's go and have a good time. Yeah. And I expected it to be a lot worse. It wasn't. I didn't. Looking back at it, looking at like the bar tabs and stuff, I was like, I didn't think it was that bad because everyone had said I was really expensive. And when we got the bill, I was like, that's no more expensive than London. Or like just a beautiful city, isn't it?
Yeah, it was it was really lovely, really clean, and everyone was everybody was really friendly, and it was nice.
You know about the train, the Arlander Express, and the chairs and stuff, and the track looking at good treaty. Oh,
yeah. Craig was just massively impressed with how clean the place was. We got the train so we landed in the airport, and got the train. So like the kind of equivalent of, like the airport train, like the Gatwick Express or something like that runs from the airport into the city.
Yeah.
So from the airport we got on there, and it was like the seats in all of the carriages were like first class seats, and there was like carpet on the train, and there was
you're not doing it justice there, darling. It wasn't a first class seat; it was a throne, like proper, actual like.
Yeah, they were really comfortable. They were like they were shaped like they were almost like bucket seats, weren't they? They were kind of like shaped around like your hips and your head and stuff. Like, like
imagine the most ergonomic office chair you can have, made of kind of wood and cushioned, and like the trains were so much wider.
Yeah, I have seen this. The whole Scandinavia. And then in their actual first class, they have like the really massive windows and the chairs turn to face the windows and all that kind of thing.
And it's because no one's there lighting fags and setting the things on fire and lighting Craig loves Sally in current shit like that.
Go on, Sally.
And, I just thought,
it was really lovely. It was really Scandi.
Made me very embarrassed.
Everything was like wood trimmed and stuff. So it was nice. Really lovely. And that was just the train into the city.
Love it.
It was the whole thing was it was really good. It was like top weekend of the year.
You really enjoyed it, didn't you?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really nice. And obviously everything was really festive. Like they had all the Christmas lights up and stuff. So it got dark really early. Because obviously it's coming into the winter and stuff, so it was like everything was all lit up at night. It was really lovely.
I know it's just to go back to our roots of First Look Gnomes.
Yes,
we do a lot of thirsty thirsts.
Right?
Can you please explain to the listeners what a hot shot is?
A hot shot we had in the bar of our hotel, which was a really lovely hotel actually as well. The bar was really cool. So it's like one of those kind of tall, skinny shot glasses. It was served in that, and there was like an espresso shot in it.
Coffee, yeah.
So it was a coffee,
hot coffee.
It was hot coffee. So a shot of like espresso, and there was Galliano in it. I think Galliano, liqueur, yeah, and like kind of foamed cream on the top. So it looked kind of like a mini pint of Guinness.
We're gonna make it at home.
And it was so good. And I think the warmth of it and the sort of vanilla flavour and the like creamy froth. Oh, it was so lovely. It was really nice. I was like, wow, these are lovely.
It was. So we did a few hot shots.
Yeah. And then actually on the Saturday after we had done the bus tour, we'd walked to meet Panda and everyone at the bar, and I had a Swedish mulled wine, and it was really nice too. It was so much sweeter than normal mulled wine because I'm not like a red wine drinker. I don't really like red wine. So when I drink, I do like mulled wine, but sometimes it's too winey and I don't really like it so much. But the one that I had in that bar was really nice. It was like really sweet, and they serve it with nuts and cranberries. Like so it takes like the sharpness of the cranberries takes just the hint off, like it stops the sweetness being like too sickly. It was really lovely too. So it was good. It was
sounds amazing.
Good.
We'll go one day.
And when we went shopping, just to go back to talking about our Tomte, and they use it sort of interchangeably, like they call Santa Tomte too. And like elves, and like they use it like the same word for both. But everywhere we go, like we travel, no matter where it is, I always get a Christmas decoration for the Christmas tree. So I was like, we have to get something. So I was Googling like, what are like traditional Swedish things. So I got a little straw goat. So the straw goat is another like Swedish, like sort of there's loads of that sort of like folklore type stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Swedish goat, he's I don't know how to pronounce this because I couldn't find, Google couldn't tell me how to pronounce it. He's called the Julbokke, I think. It's Bukker, or N.
That's right.
Bokke or Bokken. Julbokke. So Christmas is Jul, Jul. So I got a little straw goat, and I got a Dala horse as well.
They're cute. I've just Googled
really
a Swedish straw goat. They're adorable.
Yeah, they're a whole thing. And they're actually from like, well, they're originally a bit pagan. And the goat would decide whether you'd been good enough to get presents or not. So like they had the goat before they had Santa. So
OG Santa.
Yeah.
The greatest of all time, Santa.
Oh yeah, very good. Yeah.
So he would come and decide whether you'd been good enough, and if you weren't good enough, you wouldn't get a present, or he'd play a trick on you or whatever. And then kind of over time it changed, and now he's decoration. But there is a town, Gavle, that have a huge straw goat. Like it's massive.
That just came up on my Google search.
Yeah,
that
it's
just came
massive,
up.
and they build it every year. And yeah, it's huge. It's a huge thing, and these generally has like red ribbons and stuff on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one of those. He's downstairs.
I like him.
And I got a little Dala horse as well, which is a Swedish thing, which represents things like strength and faithfulness and stuff like that, like all the qualities of a horse that like works on the farm and looks after you.
One of the things we learned as well, 97% secular country, only 3% of the people there have religion. 97% secular. I was like, as we were in the bus stop, there was a lot of churches. I was like, there's a lot of churches and there are only 3% of people are Christians. Just interesting. Didn't realise it was such a secular country. And like beautiful churches as well. Different to kind of England. The church we talked about in the last episode. I want to say Eula. Come on, Uni. Not Eula. I was close. Eula's our auntie. Una. Sorry. Like very, very different looking buildings, but
yeah. Well, there was a lot of them that were kind of like stone type, but they look like they big tall spires, like big cathedral type churches.
Wow.
But yeah.
not 7%. I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah, and I suppose it's if you're like really historic, like there's a lot of like all of those Scandinavian gods, and because there's a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of like Thor and all those kinds of things. And then shifts to Christianity, and then shifts to kind of mixed.
You could absolutely spend a week there.
Yeah, and there was loads of museums and stuff, and obviously we just didn't have time to do any of that kind of stuff. But there's like a sort of actual sort of history of Sweden museum, and there's a Viking museum, and there's a
ABBA museum.
There's an ABBA museum.
Of course it is.
Of course there is. And then they have like so in Stockholm, there's like a couple of little islands that are like joined up with bridges, and on the sort of edge of one of them, they have like this whole like sort of theme park kind of thing. It's a bit like, it looked like it had sort of, like wooden roller coasters and stuff like that. So, it's like a sort of Fantasia type place.
That sounds amazing. I'd love that.
And then they have like an outdoor kind of Skansen, it was called. It's like a sort of Swedish like outdoor like open museum, like open air museum type place where you can learn about like sort of like rural history of Sweden. And like there's pet zoo and so like it'd be really good to go back. Like we said, we'd definitely go back, but in the summer.
And we said
and would you take Braden? Would you say it was child friendly, or whether you would want to or not is a different question, but would you say it was child friendly?
You know what? You're just right putting that kind of caveat in. But would you want to? No, because there's so much fun you can have as an adult. And if you do want to do a family weekend there, you probably could,
it seemed fairly, like we seen loads of people with their kids, and loads of people, like, and there was kids everywhere, and so it wasn't like one of those places where you're like, no, you can't bring children there.
So, in conclusion, how many Bjorns out of 10 would you give it?
at least a strong 8 Bjorns out of 10 Bjorns.
Wow.
That's a lot of Bjorns.
8 Bjorns out of 10 people.
I love
good.
Bjorn.
Add it to your list.
Nice.
It was good.
Excellent.
Fiance, do you want to do your first look?
Yeah, all right then. It's tenuous, guys.
Well, I was going to do mine. This is still mine.
No, it's fine. I'll do mine while he's still asleep. Just going to send something to the group,
Oh, gosh.
guys. Send a little image to the group.
Uh-oh.
Adorable.
Have you sent the right
I know.
image? That looks like something we shouldn't be looking at.
What do you mean?
Wow,
You sent the wrong
we
picture.
what?
You sent the wrong picture.
Sent the wrong picture.
I don't have any pictures like that on my phone anymore, guys. Sorry to disappoint.
So,
Thank you, Leanne. I knew that you'd get it. Thank you.
well, this was the same last year. We were meant to do the Wallace thing, weren't we? The Wallace reaction, and we didn't do it.
Yeah, come on, Mr. Hodgkiss. Yeah.
Wallace-
So, go on, Leslie Ann, seeing as you understood, explain the image that I have just...
Really lovely. It's a nice smiley picture of Georgie and a lovely little plaque thing that says, I said yes to the dress.
I did.
With
so
a
this
lane.
is a very...
With Elaine. She
With
was
Elaine, yes.
very instrumental.
I will give her a shout out. Not that anyone who listens will care, but Elaine Rawlings is the woman who I bought my wedding dress from. It's tricky to do a first look because I can't tell you anything about it.
That's a pretty good one.
And
now,
I can't
Georgie.
look at it.
That's
so-
a good one.
I can't look at it.
I can't look
can't-
at it.
I can't explain it to any of you.
The first one you can't see.
It's a good one. It is a good one. I'm doing a first look you can't see, but it's just kind of the lead into the fact that, as we said at the top, we have been engaged for over a year now, but we did decide 24 hours later, we found out we were pregnant. We had a baby.
Oh, just, wow.
Not quite, but yes. One did not directly lead to the other, but we had a baby, so we have not, wedding planning has not been very high on our priority list. Wedding dress shopping was very much, as soon as you get engaged, everyone's like, oh, you're going dress shopping, you're going dress shopping. And I had 12 weeks of going, I was growing a small human. I was not going dress shopping. So finally, about 2 weeks ago, I went wedding dress shopping with a couple of friends down in Cornwall. And so I went wedding dress shopping 2 weeks ago to the lovely Elaine, and I said to her, this is my circumstance. I know that dresses normally take a long time to come. I don't have that time. I need a dress for the beginning of February. And she said, not a problem. I can put an immediate order on it, pay me an extra £100 and I can get it here for... So this was Saturday, and she said I can get it here for Tuesday if I place the order on Monday. So that was 2 Saturdays ago. Last Saturday, I went and picked up my dress, and I went for my first fitting with the alterations lady yesterday. It's doable, everybody.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
It's doable. If you ask nicely, it gets you a long way.
Of course.
2, if you explain why you're doing what you're doing, funnily enough, it works. And if you throw money at the problem, guess what, guys? People do stuff for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So yes, my first look, although yes, it is, I've got a wedding dress and I get to wear it twice. It's just the world of wedding planning and how everything's just a bit, it's good fun. It's really fun. And I'm really enjoying being able to go, oh, I'm a bride. Oh. And I do the Wallace and Gromit hands quite a lot. But also it's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad secret.
Yeah.
The money that they
It's a
ask
pantomime.
of you, the hoops that you've got to jump through, we can let you have it for this, but only if you have that as well.
Yeah,
Don't want that. Don't want that. It's mad. It's completely bonkers. Yeah. Apart from the vicar and the church, who've been incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Couldn't be more accommodating. Anything that we need from them to make what we want to happen.
Yeah.
They're doing it. But the people that can make money out of it,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
it's insane.
Our church was the same, actually. Our church was like the easiest. They were like, yep, fine. Yep, no
Yeah.
problem. It's like the
Yeah.
baby world as well, isn't it? It's,
Yes.
It's like, oh, well, got to have the best for baby. It is
Yeah.
safest. I mean, if you don't
Yes.
want to choose the safest, it means you're a bad mother. But, it's up to you.
I'll
Yeah.
look at the safest, and I'll find the safest that's on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Well, we had that with a terrier, didn't we?
Mm.
Like
with,
the sling thingies.
I think it was my niece's birthday. Or maybe it was Braden. I can't remember. I went to.
It was Braden.
was
I
it
know what you're about
Braden?
to say. It was
Yeah,
Braden.
I went to Jojo
For his
Mama
first
Bebe,
birthday.
and I was looking for looking for a gift. I don't know if it was like a first birthday or christening.
It was his
or
first
something.
birthday because it was when I was going to
Was
go
it?
and meet these guys for the first time. Yeah.
So I went to Jojo Mama Bebe, and the lady there, she was like pointing at different things, and she said, "How much do you love your godson?"
Wow.
Because we have this, and I think it was like a.
It was a ride on like one of those
it
like
was
the
like
bikes
a
without
proper full-on like scooter bike
push bike thing
which
without
was like
the pedals.
£500. And
Yeah.
it's like, how on earth do you answer that? It's like,
How are you trying to equate that? How much I love my grandson to how much?
so
how
if,
much
so if I don't get this £500 scooter, does that mean that
I love it more.
We bought him a train and a teddy, listeners,
Yeah,
just so
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And we do love him a lot.
But how BS is that?
I know.
Because again, you tend to see the kids who have been given everything are the ones who aren't really loved and valued by the parents anyway. They're just bought. So what a dick. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that's bad sales
people,
tactic.
anyone
West
listening to
Price
this,
is
right?
like,
It didn't make us spend any more money in there, did it?
I'm going to bring the microphone closer. Listeners, if you're listening to this and you're a dick, stop being a dick. That's it.
Done. End of podcast. Mike
Move
out.
on.
see you next week.
Don't be a dick. Be decent.
I completely agree. I just think, I mean, yeah, like I say, don't get me wrong. I am having a lovely time trying on tiaras and wearing fancy frocks and,
Absolutely.
drinking Prosecco and having a lovely time.
No, I didn't tell me the Prosecco bit.
Oh, you get a glass of Prosecco everywhere you go.
Actually,
you're still
we
going to
didn't
go to
have-
places, not even though
we
you
used to
have a
go- we used
dress.
to go dress
you
shopping,
still go
Craig.
to other places and try dresses on.
Yeah.
Well,
10
if we
Prosecco's
didn't have
later.
63 days to go, I might. But got too much to do.
I could do, if I had a Saturday free now, I would go and do that.
Yeah.
We've been married 11 years.
Yeah, fair enough. I tell you what, when you're over next,
dress for
we'll
Sally.
go. Yeah.
So good. I mean, it's
We're
so...
both getting, we'll pretend we're marrying each other, then we'll both need to try dresses on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
What is your name? Sally Talbot. Can I try another bit of this?
Sally Talbot 1, Sally Talbot 2.
There's my Prosecco.
I am Sally and I am Talbot. Talbot, your dress is ready.
Can I be Talbot? I quite like that. I'm having a wedding where I'm marrying a gnome. Like, that's what I'm doing.
You're marrying one of the first look gnomes.
I'm marrying a celebrity podcast gnome, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need all
You're
the bells and
already
whistles.
living the dream.
I'm
International.
living the dream.
I mean,
How much do you love your gnome? That's the question.
Yeah.
Judging by today, he won't know what day it is, but just
Is the wedding today?
well,
I know. It's just a bit bonkers, but it's very exciting. And yeah, I do feel a bit giddy about the whole thing, really. My first look that you can't see.
So my first look is...
Sam's run out of beer.
I'm running out.
He's switching us on now because we're run out of beer.
Logan had his first Christmas visit to Santa.
oh, that's a big one.
Yeah. So I went to a place called Lappa Valley, which the fiance thought was very Cornish. But Lappa Valley is... so you get to go on a little steam train. So you got a little steam train and it takes you into the valley. Then you
It's
get
not
to the-
steam train.
It is. And steam come out of it. And it was little.
Yeah.
And you, and you get to Lappa Valley and there's like a little mine engine house and there's fields and benches and another little train that goes around in circles.
No, that wasn't a little train. That was a ride.
It's a little train. And there's a little hut there with with the elves. With the elves, so we went with my niece and nephew, and Logan was invited along, and he met Santa for the first time,
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, gnomes.
didn't he? So
Yeah,
that was
you
fun.
did.
Met Santa.
That's awesome.
Presents.
How did you find it, Lals? Because, like, obviously, Logan being 10 months old is probably going, no clue what's going on. It's more for the mum and dad, let's be honest.
Well, the niece enjoyed it the most, and she's 7.
Yeah, it was for them,
She had
really,
a
wasn't it?
good little dialogue with Santa going on. My nephew's 3. There's a point where Santa said, "I'll put you in my book," and when he said that, he just broke down in tears. He either thought he was going in the naughty book,
He thought he was going in a book.
or he thought literally he was going in the book.
Oh dear.
So he burst out in tears.
He got really scared.
But
Oh, dear.
yeah, but it's really good. So yeah, but a nice time. Didn't meet Santa and got caught in the rain a little bit, but then we went out to table for some dinner afterwards, which was also quite funny. So we got there and ordered some food, and
A hoot.
and the fiance asked for the looked at the menu, and the waitress came across, and she was like, "We've only got one roast beef left, only one roast chicken left. We've got millions of turkey, she said. About an hour and a half later, when we chased up, so where's our food?
Hour and a half, like,
An hour and a
bearing in
half.
mind we got there at 5 p.m. and we've got kids. An hour and a half later, the food
hour
hadn't
and a half
arrived.
later, still no food. No turkey.
No. Hour and a half
Sorry,
later,
when
we
ours-
chased
when
up,
ours arrived.
where is our food? Then she brought everybody else's dinner.
Yeah.
After she'd put everyone else's dinner, she went,
No turkey.
"There's no turkey. The chef's just told me there's none of your dinner."
Fun.
So I said, "Just give me the roast dinner, but without any meat on it." So she went back in the kitchen. She came back. She went, "No, they've got none of
No
that either. They've
vegetables."
got no vegetables." But yeah, and I'm sat there with, like, Logan I'd obviously taken his tea because he's 10 months old, so I wasn't going to buy him anything. I'd taken his dinner. He'd eaten all of that. He had worn Rowena out with the whole throw something on the floor, pick it up, ha 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 game. It was nearing his bedtime, and we were an hour away from home, and my dinner hadn't arrived. And I was I went a little bit Essex on them. If my in-laws hadn't been there, I'd have gone a lot. If my in-laws hadn't been there, then I would have kicked off royally.
Right, Dad was in the room.
But as Dan says, there wasn't any point.
Terrible food, but was Santa fun?
It was fun.
And did you give your list to Santa? Because let's be honest,
He
I
didn't
was
ask.
right. It's just
So obviously Rowena, the niece, was the only one old enough to actually write a letter. So there's a little bit there where you can actually write a letter to Santa. And she asked for there's 3 items, and I think the first 2 were a car,
She's a skateboard.
a skateboard, a fast one. I think that's what you
A
said.
fast one, yeah.
And the third one was
slow
Mum
one?
gets a good night's sleep. She put, bless her.
no way.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
That's a parent who's guilted their kids into writing that.
Yeah. No. So Tams and Aaron had absolutely nothing to do with it. Rowena went off, squirreled away, and just wrote it, and then she
Yeah.
brought it back. And Tam said, "Can I have a look?" And she looked at it, and she went, "Oh, Rowena, really sweet."
So, Mr.
But yeah,
Myers,
she told Santa that she wanted a skateboard, and Santa said, "Okay, I'll get one of those for you."
without checking with the parents first,
Without
Tamsin was like,
without a second.
Yeah.
He said.
Santa promised.
I mean,
Santa promised.
who vetted that
Yeah,
Santa?
that was
"Yeah."
What would you like Santa to bring you this year? And what do you think Santa will bring you this year? So what would you like Santa to bring you?
pair of socks.
A pair of socks.
Yeah, I like a new fresh pair of socks. But the old ripped ones I wear on Sunday because they're my holy socks.
Hooray!
Right, have we bought you enough time now, Mr. Hodgkiss? You must have thought of the first look.
I was going to do. There was several first looks I was going to do.
Several. Gosh.
I didn't know what to do. I honestly didn't know what to do. I was like, going to do Spotify Wrapped because that's always hilarious to kind of realise how, what you listen to over the year. Then Then I thought about I'm a Celebrity because I always we talked about this before, and I love I'm a Celebrity. So I was talking about that for the first time. Yeah, go on, Miles.
I don't know if he might, George will correct me or not, but I don't know if he's in I'm a Celebrity because I've not been watching it. But during the dinner, after seeing Santa, the winner, my 7-year-old niece, just randomly goes, Nigel Farage. It's the most random thing to say.
Out of no clue.
Nigel Farage.
It's exactly as Dan just said it. Nigel Farage.
He is in I'm a Celebrity this year.
Yeah.
And he is his third favourite to win now. Now we get into like the last final few. And he's not a bad guy, but he's very
Knobbedish.
scripted.
Mm.
Like I wouldn't say he's knobbedish at all. I'd say he is
He's a politician through and through.
Yeah.
it's just funny. When you watch normal people talk and you watch politicians talk, they are so how do you put it? They don't know how to answer a question. It's just in their blood. They just talk around things.
Deflect.
They just deflect.
And they've done it for so many years. They now do it even with "Do you want milk in your tea?"
Yeah,
because they've just programmed in them.
I love Christmas. Love Christmas. Love everything about Christmas. However, I got what can only be described as middle-aged Christmas rage in a Sainsbury's. And I thought, and I actually said these words, I'm done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And I thought, I'm not even 40
said that
yet.
20 years ago.
Oh,
It was peppered with expletives.
I did swear at a poor boy.
I'm not fluffing dealing with this anymore.
So you've got the Christmas should be about going shopping and buying nice things for people you care about, right?
Yeah.
And you want to give nice gifts, but the way that I'm gonna bemoan technology here, pressures of the season, should we call it? You said it earlier, Georgie, and the thing, like the idea to make it all perfect, right?
Yeah.
And we're in Sainsbury's. So the way companies
Other supermarkets are available.
Other supermarkets are available. But the way companies work these days, so there's a cracking podcast I listened to about shadow work, about how these big businesses are reducing their necessity for staff by effectively making the customers do the work of the people they used to employ. So, for example, the banks, you don't need somebody working in a bank now to pay a check in. You can do it in the automated machine. So, we can sack half of our staff.
Thing.
It's the same in the supermarkets with the whole self-service checkouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's late night shopping last night, and the place is bunged, piled to the rafters, and they've got 2 people on tills, and they've got 20 self-service checkouts manned by another 2 people. So they've reduced 18 people. They've got rid of 18 people's worth of actual conveyor belt staff and replaced them with 2 17-year-olds who don't at their arse from their elbow. And we're trying to buy some stuff, and you've got this tiny little platform to weigh stuff, and everything you scan, it's giving you a red light. And I'm just getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And like, I'm trying to precariously balance a roll of wrapping paper and some bows that weigh about a feather's worth away. Please place your item in the bagging area. It's area. What do you want me to? And I'm just there with this roll of wrapping paper just hitting the baggie. And then he scans something else and you put it down. Please place the correct item in the bag area. Fucking thing is in the bag area. And then this 16-year-old comes over and we bought 8 selection boxes. And these 8 selection boxes are in a box because we're like, you know what? That's easy. Pick up 1 box of 8 selection boxes. No, you have to scan all of them individually and put them in. And you put the box down and it's too heavy. No, you can get someone over, Georgie, I'm sure. Yeah. But I don't want to get somebody over. If I wanted somebody, I just want to be at the conveyor belt where somebody's already there to do it. But you can't, because then if up there,
Yeah, there's only 2 of them for like 18 tills.
and he was up the aisle with old women with trolley fulls. It's just like, I'm just there thinking, this is not actually, like, it's gone from being, this is lovely, we're going out tonight, we're going to get some things, to, I want to be anywhere else but here. Screw presents, screw wrapping paper. I'm going to buy tin foil. Everyone's getting things wrapped in tin foil.
I'd still have had to put it in the bagging area though.
You still would. And I just thought,
I need have had to buy a roller wrap of tinfoil.
and you know, we talked today about customer service, Georgie, right?
Yeah.
Like going to the shops now has become so torturous and unwarm and cold and like it now feels like a chore. Instead of going and buying food that you want to eat and thinking, oh, this is great, so I'm going to the supermarket and I'm going to have to battle, and I don't want to battle when I go to the supermarket. I'm going to give them 100 odd quid. I want to just enjoy the experience. Nope, can't do it anymore. So this is just middle-aged Christmas rage. Nobody is enjoying this experience. Everybody there was as angry as I was. You are ruining Christmas with your greed. Pay more people to be on the tills. People with smiley faces and reindeer antlers who say, are you having a nice day? Oh, this looks nice. I'm not trying that myself. Where it's more pleasant and you leave thinking, oh, what a great place. I'm going to come back there next week and do my big shot. No, instead it's just getting angry and pitting scales with 3 for 2 wrapping paper and then wondering where you've left the nectar card. I don't know where the nectar card is. Just give me the discount. We went to, so it's nice to, like, for Christmas especially, we're like, you know what, I actually kind of, especially because we've got a couple of we've got 2 other godchildren who are both girls. We obviously only have a son, so it's quite nice to go and buy girly stuff, you know, and be like, oh, this is lovely, and it's nice to go out and do it, and you want to enjoy it because you only get to do it once a year. But then yesterday we went to Marx's, and because it's Christmas, so you want to get, you know, if you're buying clothes for somebody, you're like, let's get them something decent, because, you know, it's like, it's Christmas, it's a special outfit. And we've got a friend of ours who has a daughter. She always likes sparkly dresses, so we're like, okay, there's some sparkly dresses, but we'd also picked up this little skirt and top combination.
Yeah, it was like a little kilt and
it was very nice.
Yeah.
Cute.
And then we decided, no, we're going to go for the sparkly dress. So I need to put the skirt back. There's not a sinner in Marks and Spencer's except for this one twat of a woman. And where she stood? Right in front of the dresses. And she's looking through the skirts. I'm like, you need a 6 to 7? I've got one here, love. And she's just stood there. And she looked, she
You're like me, Craig. You get more Wolverhampton when you're annoyed. I get more at 6.
Excuse me, darling. Would you mind out the way? I've got places to be, and you've been stood in front of them dresses scratching your beaver for the last 10 minutes. So she was stood there, and she looked through the dresses, didn't pick anything up, and then just stood there and looked at them. I was like, not finding the size. Why are you still stood there? I'm just looking at the skirts, thinking about my husband, Jim.
She's
Can you
milling
think about your
about.
husband, Jim, over there? So I could put the skirt back without it hitting you. And like, so this was before.
This is exactly my experience last Saturday, Greg. 100%. Just move.
Just move, please. Like, and you know what? I even went to stood on a shoulder, like to put the like. You must be aware, I'm a big guy. I'm stood on your shoulder. You can pretty much hear me breathing down your neck. You must be able to feel my presence. Can you please just take one step to your left so I can put the skirt back, and then you can step back in and pick a skirt up if you so wish.
But you forgot you were in Belfast.
Oh, they don't give a shit, do they?
And a Belfast woman will not be intimidated away from a kilt.
I ain't afraid of sex, and they've got no afraid of sex out here. I ain't
If
gonna
I'm just going to
stand
stare
here.
at them until they sew themselves.
Oh, it's just... So, but then you're just tempted just to put the kilt somewhere else, and you're like, no, I can't do that, because then there's some poor person who works here finds a random size 5 to 6 kilt in front of a sparkly dress and thinks, how did that end up there? And then she's annoyed, and you don't want to be part of the problem, but at the same time. So this had happened before.
But then it was like, the sort of the other side of that milling coin that happens. I don't know if this is a universal thing. It happens here a lot. These women that, like, you could be we were trying to decide what we were going to do for dinner. Mum was here. Dad was going to be calling back in again. So I was like, we'll get something for dinner, something quick. What do we get? And I was like, we'll get a pie. We can throw it in the oven. We've got potatoes at home. We'll do some wedges or something. It'll be great. Then I was like, hang on, my mum's a bit fussy. So I quickly rung her and I was like, do you want a chicken pie? Do you want this pie? Do you want this pie? Do you want this pie? And she was like, no, chicken pie's fine. So in the minute and a half that I was on the phone with her, we're stood in front of, what was kind of left of the pies. It wasn't a very well-stocked shelf. It was the shelf where, the shelf where like the kind of scrag ends are. No one else in the shop is interested in this shelf. But because we were stood in front of the shelf, another woman comes along and absolutely has to get in to see what is on this shelf. And she's like a half an inch away from his back, just trying to get this random pie, and I'm like, he was oblivious.
I didn't even realize this happened.
He had no idea what's going on around him. I was like, behind your back there. And he's like, oh, sorry.
Did
and
she politely go, excuse me, can I get in there, please? Or did she just kind of wheedle?
Yeah, she just wheedled. She did. There's a lot of wheedling goes on here. I mean, you could be stood in front of dustpans and brushes, and some 80-year-old, that's her sole purpose in life, to get to those dustpans and brushes. And you're like, what are you doing? Go away.
I think the all-knowing wise gnome.
I think he's having a Christmas break, isn't he?
He's still asleep, but he's crying.
Is he dreaming?
He should get up soon.
So that's the end of our Christmas special, and we have a lovely final Christmas wish from a very special guest of the podcast called the Wise Look Gnome. And come in here, Wise Look Gnome. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Have you had a good year this year?
It's been very, very, very good, full of wisdom.
Okay. And what do you want to say to the listeners first? As this is like the sign-off for the year, what do you want to say to everybody?
Have a very Merry Christmas.
Oh, and to you.
New Year.
Okay, he's gone now. He's off.
It was nice to see him.
Nice for him to wish us all a happy New Year.
Nice to see you. You didn't see him last time, did you? You were busy downstairs.
I was busy downstairs, but it was okay this year. Through the power of editing, it's all been very good. So, listeners...
thank you, listeners. But don't forget to like and follow and all that stuff. Leave us a 5-star review. And we'll see you back in January.
Oh, can I say a thing that they always say on podcasts?
Please.
Because this is released on a different day, you're never quite sure when it's going to be released, so you never miss an episode. If you subscribe, then it will just pop up in your feed of podcasts and you'll never miss an episode. So make sure that you click that subscribe button.
Please do.
And if you're a robot,
if you're a robot, click everybody's subscribe button so we get lots of listeners.
But, have a Merry Christmas, everyone. We'll see you in January when everyone's at the gym burning off those calories. Do you know the best way to burn 1,000 calories? Leave a pizza in the oven.
Yeah, very good.
Well, on that bombshell. All right. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas. Scandinavification. I can't say it. Scandification.com.